Hi, welcome back. This week too, we will see 7 different English words, just like last week. Here is a standard disclosure. I use a lot of images in these videos. All of these images are collected from Google Images, and the primary intention is to help my audience connect with the English words I'm talking about. However, if these images are covered under copyrights and if you don't want me to show them here, I'll be happy to remove them, or I can give you due credits below that image. So whichever is what you want, please write to me at stellium@gmail.com and I'll be happy to do so. Thank you. So here is a quick recap of what we saw last week. Word number one, insouciant. Insouciant refers to carefree, inappropriate, childish behavior, especially in the wake of a serious situation. Breach, breaking of a secured boundary, right? For example, if somebody breached the security protocols in IPL and the virus breached into the bio bubble, right? Wreak havoc, right? Cause to happen. The storm wreaked havoc in the city and so on. REEK, reek. Reeks of stupidity, full of stupidity, right? The decision to hold IPL in the middle of a pandemic reeks of stupidity. Connotation. Connotation is a hidden implied meaning. It's not the literal meaning, but it's an alternate secondary meaning or the import of what somebody said. That is what is connotation. The next word is debilitating. Debilitating refers to crippling, limiting, something that stops you from being a full-fledged version, right? It makes you a limited version of yourself. So that is what is debilitating. Ramification. Ramification refers to branching, especially the figurative meaning is all kinds of consequences that can happen following a decision. That is called as ramification. Cliche. Cliche refers to a common word that is used so commonly that it becomes so boring to hear that. அரைச்சமாவியே அரைக்கிறது அதுதான் cliche. Word number one, comeuppance. Comeuppance is a noun. It means a deserving result. Usually it is used in a negative connotation to indicate revenge, reward for bad behavior, etc. For example, he finally got his comeuppance for his misbehavior. Man received his comeuppance for messing with nature in the form of floods, pollution, rains, and pandemics. Some of the synonyms would be retribution, requital, recompense, due. All of them are related to some kind of revenge, if you can see that. So in the picture that you see, somebody's laughing, ha ha ha. Why he is laughing? Because somebody got his due. Somebody got paid in their own coin. They got paid back in their own coin. That is, somebody got their comeuppance, right? So that's why that person is laughing. Word number two, horcrux. Horcrux is a noun. It comes from the Harry Potter movies. It was not really a word before that movie. There was no word called horcrux before that movie, but it was introduced by J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is the author of Harry Potter, and in that novel, she had used a term called horcrux. Horcrux is an object in which a sorcerer hides his soul. Right? For example, Voldemort, who is a villain in Harry Potter movie. So he's a big sorcerer, and what he does is he hides his soul into 7 different Horcruxes. So if you have to destroy him, you have to destroy all those 7 pieces. Then only you can destroy him completely. Otherwise, he will be immortal. So that's what Voldemort did. And in popular culture, since the Harry Potter was very popular, the Horcrux infiltrated into the vocabulary, right? So it's a very recent word, and the connotation generally means is that it can be used to figuratively suggest a secret thing, secret, secure thing, right? For example, let me use this in a sentence. Demonetization drive in India ensured that money locked up in Horcruxes had to see the light of day for paying taxes, lest they should get wasted, right? A synonym could be a locker, a safe. That is the figurative meaning for that. It's not an exact synonym, but it's a figurative synonym. And in the picture, you can see that Harry Potter, along with this Horcruxes created by Voldemort, it has only 6. Actually, it has to be 7. I think one of them is missing, but I think you get the idea. Word number 3, reticent. It's an adjective. It is used to describe someone who is reserved, shy in behavior, or not speaking freely. So that's when we use reticent to describe that person. It has no connotation, it is neutral, it just describes people as they are. If somebody is reticent, you just say that somebody is reticent. That's all it means. It has no connotation. Synonyms: reluctant, reserved, shy, bashful, uptight, unforthcoming. Reluctant, we have always seen that, like when we were young, there will be some uncle who comes to our house, then they want to strike a conversation with us, and then they will say, why are you so reluctant to talk to me, why don't you talk to me, like that they keep saying, right? And bashful is also a new word here. Bashful simply means that somebody who gets embarrassed so soon, they feel very, very awkward when somebody is around, right? So that is what is called as a bashful behavior. Uptight, as the name suggests, somebody is so rigid that they are not able to loosen up, right? When somebody is not able to loosen up, they won't speak their heart, and they would be considered as a reticent person. So some people might be guarding themselves so heavily that they're very uptight. Unforthcoming also means that means the same. Forthcoming means somebody who tells their heart, who speaks their heart, right? So they're very easy to judge. Whereas if somebody is unforthcoming, they have something going on in their mind. You cannot figure out what they want to what they are by listening to them, because the words do not reveal the real person, right? So that's what unforthcoming means. So let us see an example usage. Rakesh, one of the most reticent students in our class, turned out to be a revelation as he stole the show in the singing competition. Right? If you look at the picture, you can see that that lady is pissed off, and that guy is somewhat shy. He's even smiling to himself, right? So maybe he's not able to open up and strike a conversation with her. So that's when you see that that person is a reticent person. Word number four, repartee. Repartee is a noun, and it refers to a very witty, interesting reply. Right? It's used in a positive connotation, and some of the synonyms are rejoinder, retort, riposte, and so on. Rejoinder is something that you must have heard in the news. For example, if India issues a statement blaming Pakistan, then Pakistan will issue a rejoinder, right? Same goes with India and China all the time, right? So that is, you can see that in news very often. That is where a country issues a rejoinder against another country. Retort is often used in a negative connotation, especially when somebody reacts back with anger. It's called retort, right? It's again, retort is a reply given by the opponent, but very angrily. It is used in a negative connotation. Riposte is also a similar thing where you give back something to your opponent, but it comes from the sport of fencing. In the sport of fencing, when somebody lunges forward to hit you, and they try to hit you, but you parry that blow. You parry means you avoid that blow, and then that is also an opportunity to hit them back, because since they have lunged forward, they are closer to you, right? At that time, you can issue a riposte on them, right? So basically, it's a way of giving back. So that is how they're all connected to repartee. But repartee always signals intelligence. It is a very positive word, right? For example, the comedian was well known for his sharp repartees. For example, comedian Vivek, we know that, right? He always is known for his witty replies. The audience lapped up his comedy scenes. Lapping up means respond back with enthusiasm, enjoy it with enthusiasm. That is what lapping up means. If you look at the picture, it says silence is the unbearable repartee. These are profound words. When somebody hurts you, if you hurt them back, no, it is like everything is we had a tit for tat, and that's it. Everybody goes back to sleep. But if somebody does something bad to you, and if you do not respond back, it will make their position very vulnerable, or they cannot sleep properly. They will be wondering what this guy is up to. What's their plan? Why are they not responding to me? Right? They keep thinking like that. So it's a very profound quote. Silence is the unbearable repartee. Word number five, flummox. Flummox is a verb. It means to completely confuse. It is used in a negative connotation, and some of the synonyms include confuse, befuddle, puzzle, bewilder, confound, perplex, discombobulate, disconcert, baffle, stump, and so on. There's a lot of synonyms there. Let us see some usage. The virus flummoxed the scientists with its new mutations. Dhoni's strategy of opening the match with spinners flummoxed the audience. Why would it why would it flummox the audience? It would flummox the audience because people expect pacers to open the match, not spinners. So when somebody uses a spinner, people get flummoxed and think, hey, what this guy is up to? Is this a right decision? Like that. In the picture, you see a woman completely flummoxed by either what she saw in the monitor or because of something else, but it captures the essence of flummox very, very well. Word number six, harangue. Harangue could be used either as a noun or as a verb, depending on the context. It means an intense verbal attack, a vehement speech, most likely hate speeches. The usual connotation is negative. Some of the synonyms include diatribe, tirade, and so on. Here is a usage of harangue. His constant harangue against his political opponents earned him a notorious reputation. In the picture, you can see a guy shouting his throat out, right? So that's basically a harangue. It's usually used in a negative connotation, possibly hate speeches. All those could be construed as harangue. Word number 7, the last word for this week is ton of bricks. Not really a word, it is actually a phrase. A ton of bricks means 1000 kg of bricks. That is the literal meaning. But it is always used in a figurative sense. And the figurative meaning is something that is shocking, unbearable, something that hits you like a ton of bricks, right? So that is what is the figurative meaning of ton of bricks. It is used in a negative connotation. Some of the synonyms are unbearable, shocking, unendurable, and so on. When we talk about unendurable, it comes from the root word endure. Endure is to withstand. Unendurable is something you cannot withstand, right? Let us look at a usage. His father's demise hit him like a ton of bricks. It doesn't mean that ton of bricks fell on his head. It just means that he could not digest the news of his father's demise, right? So that's what it means. In the picture you can see a literal meaning, but the literal meaning should not be taken in that way. Just to ensure that this word or this phrase gets registered in your mind, but you should always go with the figurative meaning. This brings us to the end of this video. We saw 7 new words this week. The first one was comeuppance. It refers to a deserved result. The second one was horcrux. It refers to a secret hiding place. It comes from Harry Potter. The third one is reticent. It means being shy. The fourth one is repartee. It refers to a witty, interesting reply. The fifth one is flummox. It's a verb. It means to confuse. The sixth one is harangue. It's hate speech. Seventh one is ton of bricks. It's a phrase that refers to a shocking, unbearable stuff. That is what ton of bricks means. So that covers the 7 new words we learned this week. So until next week, see you. Bye bye.